Hi, I'm Dr. Saujanya Vasishta. By profession, I'm a psychologist and an educationist. I'm here to share my experience with Deep Panache. Buying a house is much more easier than finding a good interior designer because your house is a dream project. Making your house a home requires a lot of effort. With Deep Panache, it was effortless and they have the aesthetic touch. Whenever you think about house, whenever you enter someone's house, a house represents you. A house is an extension of personality of yours. But for me, it was neoclassical Victorian design. I have met lot of interior designers where they were not able to match, and they were so pushy to push me to the contemporary style, which was absolutely dead opposite. For me, interior designing is all about luxury and it should represent you. When you enter your home, it should represent you. I could not even anywhere in the market, I don't think so anyone can do neoclassical design apart from Deep Panache. So for me, even expressing my idea was so difficult to any other interior designers in the market. Whereas Atreyu could understand and exactly the way I wanted the houses. First thing, if I would like to tell my experience about making a home. So I bought this property in Prestige. So it was a pre-constructed house. And I decided to do the interiors and renovate it the way I wanted it. Because the previous house, I never felt it was my home. So I had Googled about a lot of interior designers. I also met few of them with my reference. But reading their way of work, the way of appearance, the way they were actually even they were not even willing to communicate with the client. Whereas randomly one fine day I was Googling, I found Deep Panache. It was around 10 o'clock or 10:30. I just made a random call and she immediately responded and she did share her work. Then I was a little curious and intrigued to know more about her work. Then I dropped in her to her office. She was so kind and generous and she was very, very approachable to the client. She did show me a lot of work. She did show me her place where she was working and also her materials, and also she gave me adequate knowledge about the materials she would be using in the project. I was more than satisfied, and without even a thought, very next day I made an advance to her. So they could meet all my expectation, and also with respect to the materials, there was no compromise. One small instance I would like to share with you all. When I just moved into the house, there were some plumbing issues. The water started gushing all over the place. And the Panache was so kind enough, and also the material kind of using, because there was a constant water flow, there was no damage with the wood. Also, the paint was resisting the water flow. So the material and whatever the minute details you give them, they also follow it thoroughly, and the workers are quite efficient and they're known for their workmanship. So when I met Deep Panache, they were showing me the 3Ds. I thought it's just a random thing which you Google it or you will get it in the Pinterest. But in the real experience, when I experienced, my house turned out to be more than what they showed in 3D. It has got the class, it has got the touch of excellence. Everything was quite on precisely, which was done with a keen attention given on each and everything. Most of the interior designers happen to be an interior designer. It might be their passion or what. Whereas Deep Panache, CEO of the Deep Panache, Atreyu ma'am, she is also an architect and the interior designer. She knows exactly what I was trying to, in my dream, what I call it as my dream home. She exactly knew what I was talking about and she could render it amazingly. My house requires a lot of workmanship. Every carving was, she had rejected more than 3-4 carvings because more than me being precisely keen on the finishing, she had put a lot of effort on the finishing. So you can see that in my house. And everywhere, there are a lot of carvings required. And one best thing is, she had delivered the project before even the handover date which was mentioned. I was elated by that act of them. And also, everywhere, because I have used solid wood carving, it requires a lot of workmanship, a lot of polishing, a lot of process to give the finished product, where you don't see any flaws in my house because the rendering is so good, the project execution was so precisely done.